do a bit of wife swap. I hear yours has tolerable sized cans. I'm sure I could make do.
Tolerable sized cans. Welcome back to Would John Rather. I just bought another cat.
Why?
Because I wanted another cat.
But they've already got 7 lives.
No, they have 9 lives.
That's what you think.
Well, this new cat has twice fallen off the sofa and once thrown himself off the top of the cat tree, so he might only have 6 left.
4 left.
Well, whatever. But also,
John picked your cat up with an inch through its lights before you even picked it up.
And you don't want a cat anyway, because if you got a cat, you'd sit on the windowsill hissing at it like you do your wife. So let's not get into it, shall we?
Damn straight.
You know what we should get into? What would you rather question? Gentlemen, would you rather be a ghost or a werewolf?
A werewolf. Definitely a werewolf.
I'd rather be a ghost.
Why?
Well, it's a bit more It's a bit more consistent, isn't it? You don't want to just wake up one day and go, oh shit, I forgot I'm a wolf tonight. Oh, but I had plans. Oh, bollocks. Whereas a ghost, you've got that consistency. You know, well, the consistency is you've got no consistency. You consist of nothing. But the point is that
you're opaque. Is that
at least you know you can plan around it.
So how would you plan your day as a ghost?
Well, the same way that I would plan a stag do. Careful consideration and a lot of booze.
Very nice. Very nice. I don't know if I can come back from that, but I will try. So I'll be a werewolf. It means that I'm no good once a month. Just one night. Absolutely fine. If I learn... It depends on the definition of werewolves, whether they can harness their power, blah, blah. We'll just go for traditional. Once a month.
We're going for American werewolf in London. That's what we're going for.
So I'm hairy and really good at basketball.
No, that's people from campus.
No, that's Teen Wolf.
That's Teen Wolf.
Ah. Well, anyway, one night a month during the full moon, I'd turn into a
helicopter.
But all of that aside, one day I'm going to die. Probably somebody gets me with a silver bullet, or I die from old age, or whatever. And then what happens? I turn into a werewolf ghost. Best of fucking both worlds. I'd be like Hovis up in this bitch. I'd be a ghost werewolf.
See, normally you turn into a ghost, folklore says, because you've got unfinished business.
My unfinished business is to try and find out why I became a werewolf.
So if you found out why you became a werewolf, you wouldn't be a ghost.
Yeah, but I'm going to deliberately not try and find out.
If you're deliberately not trying to do that, then you're not really got unfinished business because you were specifically procrastinating and being a dickhead.
I'll want to find out, I just won't, so that I become a ghost, so that I have longer to find out. It's just my distribution of time. Putting off till tomorrow what you can do today, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but tomorrow never comes. We only ever live today.
I don't think that applies to death.
John,
if someone says
what's your unfinished business?
My unfinished business. Oh, that's too hard a question.
Probably travelling, isn't it?
But I intend to finish that.
Oh. What if you get hit by a train tomorrow?
Well, then, yeah, it would be unfinished business, wouldn't it? But
I'm assuming by this it's the same as anything. Tomorrow we wake up and that's what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as every other question. So, John, tomorrow you're going to wake up dead.
Wouldn't it be ironic? If your unfinished business was travelling, wouldn't it be ironic to be killed by a train?
Yeah, and also as a ghost, aren't you stuck to a certain area that you have to haunt?
Maybe. I haven't looked into it.
So it become an oxymoron. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but it's as close as I can come. The fact that your unfinished business was travelling and yet you can't travel as a ghost.
Isn't that some sort of divine irony?
Yeah. And I think, to be fair on John, he wouldn't be a ghost, he'd be a poltergeist.
He would be a poltergeist. One of those really passive-aggressive poltergeists that, like, straightens cutlery.
Straightens cutlery and writes on, like, the shopping list whiteboard on front of the fridge, correcting their grammar.
Reset once a week just to keep the connection strong. Turns around the things in Spice Rack so you can read the labels.
Yeah. Making sure the tins are all straight in the cupboard.
When people don't change the loo rolls, they wake up with a loo roll in their bed.
I saw a meme the other day. It was saying about why every time I move into a house is it haunted by some ghost that was beheaded in the 13th century? Why is there no haunting happening from, like, some teen that killed themselves in 2007 screaming, "It is Britney, bitch"?
Because that would be more terrifying.
If you got haunted by the guy that was famous on YouTube when it first started, of the "Leave Britney alone."
Yeah. Well, he was hiding under a sheet.
Exactly.
What was that?
That was my
Whose
cat.
house is haunted? Are you sure your house isn't haunted already?
No, they like, what's it called? What birds do? Lauren uses the word all the time.
Chirp. Squeak?
Yeah, chirp. That's the word. Oh, here we go. So, as I predicted, on the cat tree I purchased, there are two little houses, and Arnold has never once been in one of the houses. I said, as soon as we get the new kitten, he's going to go into one of the houses, and Arnold's instantly going to get jealous. And that's all that's happened, is Brian gets into the house, and Arnold then climbs up, hisses at him, and says, "What the fuck are you doing in my swamp?"
Okay, I need to hear more for Werewolf, because I quite like the idea of John being a ghost. If John's not going to be around forever, then he can be around for the rest of my days as a spectre. That sounds all right to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else to argue, because all of his arguments for being a ghost I've also got for when I turn into a ghost, except I get to be a werewolf beforehand. I get to be really good at basketball, like we've mentioned. Also, I just like something to make me special. Everyone, every kid's grown up with that, you know. Oh, I hope I get my letter from Hogwarts. I hope I get my book, like in Sabrina, when I'm 16. You know, all of that kind of stuff. And yet, it just doesn't happen. And then eventually one day you just find out that you're, like, really good at SWOT analysis, and that is your, like, special redeeming feature. And it's quite disappointing. So if I one day found out I was a werewolf, that would be quite good.
Sounds like a dead end to me.
Plus, as a werewolf, one day I'll get to go to a fancy dinner dance, and I'll have somebody to go with.
Oh.
I think ghosts win.
Oh, fucking after that pun, are you fucking kidding me? Really, both of you are heartless, not just one of you.
Okay, we've got time for suggestion of the week. As you feel outraged, would you like to suggest something, Matthew?
No.
Fine. John?
I've forgotten what I was going to suggest.
Oh, but you said you had something.
So did you.
Yeah, but I forgot.
Can I suggest dishwashers?
Ah, yes. That's what I was going to suggest.
Dishwashers are bloody amazing. I never used to have one, and I thought, you know what, I don't want one. They're more hassle than they're worth. But it turns out I was wrong. And I can admit when I'm wrong.
So when did that happen? Did that happen in the afterlife?
That happened in the previous episode.
Oh.
There we go, that's John's unfinished business. He will now be crossing over.
It's like when I thought that it was episode
75.
I thought it was 68, but it was actually 70.
No, you thought it was 70 and it was 68.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. I think it's episode 71 now.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We just get on with the next question if he's going to be like this. Again, thinks he's protected because he's a ghost.
Okay, would you rather have a spiralizer or a mandolin?
A mandolin. Because I think the spiralizers are pointless.
Look, mandolins.
So is a mandolin.
Mandolins just an invitation to cut your fingertips off. It's a bloody disgrace. Literally bloody. Whereas spiralizers, you get some nice spirals. And what is better than a courgette? A courgette spiral. But is a courgette just cut into straight lines? Is that better than a courgette? No. Only a spiral courgette is better than a courgette.
But a spiralizer turns the courgette into straight lines.
Right. Well,
the clue's in the name. It's called a spiralizer.
It's still. Oh no, I'm thinking of them things that turn vegetables into like spaghetti.
Yeah, spiralizer.
Oh yeah, so they're still straight lines.
yeah, they're in
Curly.
spirals.
Well,
Curly spirals.
spaghetti comes in a straight line.
Not
It
when
goes
it's
flop.
cooked.
When it's cooked, it's still a straight line unless you manipulate it otherwise.
How many times have you cooked spaghetti and you've served it up dead straight?
Every single time after this fucking episode. It really confused everyone.
That would be great, actually, if you just like took like a comb and straightened out all your spaghetti on a plate.
I think it'd be a lot easier to eat as well, because you know when you're eating spaghetti and you get your spoon and your fork and you spiral it up, and then you end up with like that one long piece after all the other pieces you've got that just keeps on like spinning around your fork, and you're like, for fuck's sake. And then your regular person mouthful has suddenly become this huge mouthful that you can't back out of in case everyone else at the dinner table judges you. So you're like, ah, shit. And the only other option is to do that thing that people do where they get their plate of spaghetti and sauce, and you're like, oh, amazing, and then get a knife and cut it all up, and then it's lots of little pieces.
3-year-old.
Exactly.
Ah, but those little pieces are straight.
Exactly. So
I
fuck. Do you know what I want to enjoy with my straight spaghetti? Music.
Do you know what I do? I
don't know, but I think you're going to tell us.
Yeah, I am. Whether you want it or not.
Please.
I take my fork and I twist the spaghetti until I get to that point where it's too difficult, and then I cut that bit off. So I kind of do a bit in the middle.
Oh, so just like this podcast, you're not dedicated till the end, just until it justifies the means.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know what I meant by that, but it sounded good.
It sounded.
The fact that John only ever likes to win 2-1, so he doesn't disappoint everyone.
John only ever likes to lose 2-1, so he's still won the argument he wants, but doesn't have to ask questions.
Probably.
Yeah,
would you spiralize a marrow? Would you use your spiralizer to make it narrow?
Would you take it to East London and do it in Harrow?
I tell you what I wouldn't do. Wait, Harrow
Transport it in a wheelbarrow?
Harrow's in northwest London.
Is it? Oh, I was thinking of Harlow. Sorry, my bad London geography has just ruined the podcast. I do apologise. Sorry, everyone.
Get Nathan back.
Is Harlow even in London?
No, Harlow's in New York.
No, it's Harlem.
No, that's Harlem.
Oh, God.
I think Harlow is a place in the UK, but I don't think it's in... Well, I think it's near London, maybe.
John, just Google it. Just put us out our misery.
No, I haven't Googled anything.
Ever. Harlow is to the west of Essex, in Hertfordshire.
Ah, so it's not in London.
It's kind of like North London, pretty North London. It's not that far north of Epping, which I believe is like District 6 of London, or Zone 6.
District 6. District 9.
It's an amazing film, you fucking prawn.
Fucking prawn.
Well, that was going to be my suggestion of the week. I didn't remember the one that I thought of, but I've spent all day listening to D Antwoord.
That's a serious life choice.
I know. Well, I saw them at Download, and I was just sat a bit drunk on a chair just the whole time, just like, to the point that 3 people came up to me, and I wasn't that smashed. 3 people came up to me and went, "Are you alright, Matt?" And I was just sat there just absolutely mesmerised. And I think I really enjoyed it because so many people I knew weren't enjoying it. But I appreciated it for what it was, not what another band could have been, if that makes any sense. And then
Like when
today,
Googling what that.
yeah, and then when my brother visited this weekend, I just put one song on, and Lauren turned around and went, "Fucking, I can't, just turn it off." I went, "Just let the end of the song," and she went, "I just can't. It fucking bugs me. Turn it off." I was like, "All right, racist."
Was it Enter the Ninja?
No, it was. I
Butterfly?
think you freaky and I like you a lot. No,
Okay.
but Butterfly is Enter the Ninja.
Oh, of course it is.
It's the same song.
Yes, it is.
But there's a really good song that I really like that I keep putting on repeat, and it just starts with Ninja, and he goes, "Hey yo DJ, can you do this?" And he does some quite bad beatboxing, and the DJ goes, "What? You mean like this?" And then he actually does the DJ mix of it, and I remember seeing it live, and I was like, oh. So I listened to him all day, and I was like, I quite like this. And I think the main reason I like it, which is not a good sign of, me going to heaven, it's because I know everybody that I know hates it.
John wins.
But I believe that everyone I know hates it because it's different, you bunch of racists.
Wait, did you just say I won?
Yeah, you won recommendation of the week.
Wait, that's not what we were answering.
I don't remember. I think I was trying to go with a really mundane question, and it turned out to actually be genuinely boring.
What were we talking about?
Spiralizer or mandolin?
Oh yeah, mandolin, because music is better.
Yeah, fuck spiralizers.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't win.
No.
Not that question.
Sorry, John.
Before we go on to the third question, just to conclude what I was talking about, to the point that 1817, I text Doig just saying, "I'm pretty sure you're the only one who would appreciate this. After getting mesmerised at download, I spent all day listening to D Antwoord because I couldn't think of anybody else I knew that would appreciate it, and I'm not even sure he would, but it's the best I could think of."
I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest.
You know when we were in Norway and we watched that video on YouTube of the South African who went and played basketball with Kanye West and Drake?
I think I must have blocked it out of my memory.
Okay. They're a band that you would hate more than you've hated any other band you've ever had me suggest to you.
It's probably why I blocked it out of my memory then.
It's South African hip hop electro, I think is the best way to explain it.
Okay,
no,
fine.
the first explanation was correct. There is not a band that John would dislike any more than you've ever suggested. that is a perfect description of what they are, John.
Okay, fair enough.
Everything else Matt has recommended to you and you've disliked, times it by 10 and put it in a blender.
Okay, got it.
I would very much appreciate it if I sent you a song after the podcast, if you played it to Kirsten, because you tend to, anything I recommend to you, you give me her review of as backup for you, like with Hollywood Undead. You said it wasn't a train wreck, and then I said, no, it's good music, and then you came back to me with, I played it for Kirsten, and she said, technically it's music.
That's why I married her.
Is she there tonight, or is she off tasting whiskey with rich men again?
No, she's here.
Tell her we said hello.
In the living room.
Does she love Brian?
I don't know.
Wait, let's do a little test.
What, am I sending her a picture of my dog and you sending a picture of your cat?
Oh, we can do. I was just going to send her I got a really good picture of Arnold the other day. I'll send her a picture of Brian and Arnold. The picture I got of Arnold makes him look like a capuchin. He doesn't look like an animal at all. Doesn't look like a cat at all. He does look like an animal, obviously. Just see if we hear a squeak. Sorry, John. Do you want to ask your last question?
Okay. As I believe it's episode 69.
Yeah, 69, blaze it.
That's
Wait.
420.
Wait, what's 69?
I don't know. I'm sure the cool kids will tweet us.
We're episode 71.
We're not episode 71. I can understand it falling behind, but how did you jump ahead?
Right, carry on.
Right, okay. I'm not going to ask you anything smutty about your preferences in bed. So I'll ask you, what would you like to do alone? Would you rather get off on porn for the storylines, or go back to the days where you can only access it using dial-up internet?
Storylines. I think I understood the question.
Dial-up internet, obviously.
Storylines, because I would like, to be fair, I mean, I don't really want to admit this, but I will. There's nothing that gets me harder than reading about a couple in their late 20s than has savings and then managed to purchase a house.
And then he goes out, she calls the plumber over.
I don't even need to get to that bit. Just the idea of financial stability gets me rock hard.
Oh, I should have known whatever floats your boat was coming into this bit of the episode.
So I think that the internet has killed creativity. People don't think for themselves anymore. They just rely on the internet to come up with, to fill their...
Go on, fill their what?
Boots. And yeah, what is good about that? Nothing. So bring back dial-up, where you couldn't just rely on it at the drop of a hat. It was there for emergencies only.
Well, yeah, but this isn't. We're just bringing back dial-up. It's not an argument against, optic fibre versus dial-up. It's exclusively for getting you off, John.
Oh.
I didn't ask the question.
I mean, it's the same. It doesn't matter.
Dial-up at that point was just as good as a magazine. Which when we were growing up was just as good as finding a magazine in the woods. Because that's where, I don't know about you two, but everyone I've ever spoken to my age found their first porn. A magazine in the woods. Yeah. And you know what's really annoying as well is blokes that are like 10 years older than me will talk about that story and I'll agree and they'll be like, well, but you grew up with the internet. So, no. The internet was like a thing after I grew up.
Yeah, Matt wins.
No, we're going to keep arguing because you haven't argued anything.
I have and I lost.
But John, we've got 8 minutes until the curfew.
You know what, John? At this rate, I'm going to declare you the winner just to spite you.
I don't agree with this smut.
I think you've broken him.
It's because we were talking about pornography. Maybe that's why you never got into modelling, because it was that kind of modelling.
They just made me wear arseless chaps all the time.
Oh, poor lad.
And maybe it was for a music video featuring a mandolin, where as they played the mandolin, they used his Willy like a metronome.
And the metronome was a mandolin.
No, your Willy was the mandolin. No, your Willy was the metronome.
My Willy was being sliced by a mandolin.
What?
Ooh.
I can't believe you've got a ghost Willy.
Oh.
Well, on that note, it's clear John doesn't want to continue with this question, which is unfortunate, but...
As punishment, I declare him the winner and he will be asking questions next week.
Which I'm absolutely fine with.
Oh.
The only thing we've learned from this episode is that John's penis has unfinished business. Well, mine and John's penises are made of flesh, and John's is not. We'll see you next week.
Oh.
You suck.
Oh.